Civil society is that which is outside of the state.
Non-state actors.
Yeah. So we all are part of civil society. I think it's important to understand that civil society is not just the NGOs or civil society organizations as they're called today. You know, it is the community-based organizations, it is all those formations. The other thing is to just go quickly into history. You know, Tom Boyer came out of the trade union movement,
Yes.
Mark and Singh. So what were the civil society institutions that were actually very strong in the 1960s coming out of independence? It was the trade unions.
Atwoli, where Atwoli is now.
Yes. The Kenyatta regime moved very fast to destroy and co-opt those organs. If you go to other countries, I had the privilege of visiting Zimbabwe in the 1990s. ZACTU was very strong. I could not believe how strong the Zimbabwean trade union was as compared to our experience of trade unions by then. Because the kind of power that came out of workers organizing was so powerful. It is part of what helped to remove the colonialists. And so the incoming post-independence regime in this country understood that it needed to tame that. So when you look at civil society, you need to understand the civil society organizations now. You need to understand that a lot of work has gone into, in the last 10 years, has gone into beating them down, particularly those in the governance sector. And I think it has been deliberate. I happen to have worked at the Kenya Human Rights Commission. By February 21st, 2013, every single person in management in my organization, including those who were doing administrative work, had received a death threat.
Wow.
Oh.
Yeah. Both my deputy executive directors received phone calls telling them that there were people at their gates who were going to come in. We worked in an environment where we knew that our conversations were constantly being listened in on. I personally I had somebody who was well known to be close to me. I had gone to Zimbabwe again, interestingly, and I came back home, and somebody called me as soon as I came into Kenya, and I turned my phone on. Somebody who knew me and who everybody knew would have known me because he and I had worked together in a public office, had received a phone call from somebody who was very senior in the police at that time, who appeared to be in a drunken state and who kept complaining about me, and who told my former colleague that, quote unquote, watanitafutia bwana. This happened in December 2012. Basically, he was threatening to have me raped. This person was a senior police officer. Who was I supposed to go and report this to? And so when you see those people in civil society, and I'm just talking about one or two things that happened in the lead up. A couple of members of my board also received death threats. And so when you see members of civil society organizations speaking, you don't know what threats they may have received. You don't know what may have happened to them.
To be where they are now.
I personally underwent some of the most horrific slander I have ever experienced. I could not institute a suit because the kind of corners that this was coming from are the very same people who you are supposed to go to enforce those rights. You know, we had an active propaganda machinery that was at play in the lead up to and post the 2013 elections. Excuse me. So it is important that we do not sit back and think that this is the responsibility of one or two people.
Or vilify
As
them.
long as we think that that is the case, we will continue to face problems, because what happens is that the regime of the day will target those individuals and those institutions.